Well, good day, viewers. Today we have a 2012 Ford Fiesta hatchback, and it's got a problem with the headlights. I've got the low beam on now, and you can see the parking lights are on, but I believe these are the low beam headlights out here, and they don't come on. But if I select high beam, the high beam headlights work, and those are the inboard ones. But the weird thing is, this is Canadian vehicle, so it's got daytime running lights. If I turn the headlights off manually, and that's high beam, because you can see the high beam indicator, that's low beam, and the low beams are off. But if I turn the headlights off, and then the daytime running lights come on, those low beam bulbs work. So it's the first time I've ever, well, it's not the first time, but it's rare that the manufacturer is using the low beam headlights for daytime running lights. I think there was a code in this thing. I'm going to check. So I'm in the BCM, which controls the headlights, and I think there was a code. Low beam relay circuit short to ground or open. Let's write that down. B10A8-14. Let's have a look at the electrical circuit. So I did a keyword search on Identifix for the code B10A8, and there's no cases on it. And it's failure mode 14, B10A8-14. Exterior lighting. So we'll check out the troubleshooting chart. If low beams are inoperative, go to pinpoint test A. Alright. Pinpoint test A. Both low beams are inoperative exterior lights. Tells you need all this equipment. Flash to pass. Pinpoint test A. One or both low beams are inoperative. Low beams do not turn on unless the ignition is in run, and body control monitor circuit that is provided voltage, and the key has to be on. Low beam relay circuit short to ground or open. A continuous or on demand BCM detects an open in the low beam relay coil ground controlled circuit. Let's have a look at the wiring diagram. This troubleshooting chart is going to only increase the billable hours by the looks of it. Let's have a look at the wiring diagrams. OEM wiring diagrams. Keyword search headlamp. So there's 3 diagrams. So this shows the BCM and the switch, turn signal, headlamp switch. So the next diagram must show the headlights. So this shows the low beam relay, which is powered by this 7.5 amp fuse that feeds the high beam relay. So that fuse got to be good because the high beam relay works. But the control side of this relay is ground side, the low beam relay controlled by the BCM. So these 2 wires go off to the headlights on diagram 85-3, and this is from the daytime running light diagram. So it uses a normally closed contact number 4, or the 87A contact in the relay, and that works. So that means this circuit has to be good. Coming in from A and C, A and B, sorry. No, A and D. Let me go back and look at that diagram. (85-2). Oh, I went and linked it. That's why it's screwing up now. Alright, so out of that relay, it goes to A and B on diagram 3. And it also comes from diagram 3 on location E. A, B, and E. So let's open this diagram, not use the link. So the daytime running light relay outputs power to the headlamps on E, and A and B are fused 35 and 36, and they have to be good because the daytime running light works. So the problem has to be in the control side of this relay, on this low beam relay. So we're going to have to find this low beam relay and see where it is. So looking at this relay center again, fuse 19 is a 20 amp fuse. That could be burnt because that supplies the low beam when the daytime running lights don't. This is coming from the daytime running light circuit, and that's working. So that means the headlights are good and the fuses after that are good. But there's a 20 amp fuse, fuse 19. We're going to check that. I'm still trying to figure out which one of these relays in here is fuse, or is the low beam relay. Well, I love this gray print on a black background. Fuse 19 is this one right here, which is third one down. 1, 2, 3. Should be that one. Now that may only be live. Let's make sure my test light works. Yeah, that may only be live with the key on. Oh, it's got power on that side. It's got power on both sides. Well, we should pull the fuse out and check it as well, just in case it's corroded. Well, it's not bad. If that's the right fuse. 17, 18, 19, and that's the middle row. So that's this one here. So that's live on both sides. So which one of these relays is the low beam relay? It's pretty dirty in here. It's very possible that one of them's corroded. Well, I got to try to figure out which one of these relays. It says see owner's manual, which is not in the car. So I finally found a component location. So the low beam relay is this one in the front corner here, which I take to be this one right here, right closest to the outside corner. So pin 5 of that relay has power, and pin 4, sorry, 3 goes out. 3 is like 30, goes out to the lights. Okay, let's take this relay out. Well, that'll do it. Oh boy. I wonder if we can get that piece of terminal out of there. That's terminal 5 by the looks of it. Yeah, that'll be terminal 5. On here it shows it as number 1, 2, and 4. That's the control pin on the relay. Well, that would make sense if it doesn't turn on. If I jump these two, the low beam should work. I should have power on this pin right now. I do. And if I put a jumper between these two, the low beam will work. This comes from the daytime running light circuit, pin 4. Okay, I can see if I get this terminal out of here. So I've taken the other relays out. There was none in this location, as is evident by the fact that it's all dirty. I'm going to try and pull this top plastic piece out of here. I think it just pulls out of here. Blow it out with some compressed air, see if I can get at that terminal. So that white plastic piece just pulls straight off there once the relays are out, but That terminal is corroded in there so bad I can't get it out. I tried picking it out, it's just rotten. So I'm going to see if I can find a previously enjoyed battery junction box. We could relocate this relay over to this location over here because it's not being used, but that would mean depinning all of these terminals, and I need another relay center at least. Or putting an external relay in here, any 5-pin relay with basically a clamping diode in it would likely work, but I'd rather try to keep it as original. I can see what's available from the salvage yards tomorrow. So I obtained a previously enjoyed fuse panel from a 2011 Ford Fiesta, and according to the Hollander recycled parts catalog, 2010 to 13 is supposed to be the same. This is a 2012, and this is not the same fuse panel, although it's mounted the same way, same orientation, but it's not the same fuse panel. You can see these relays, and none of these relays are the same part number even. These are only 4-pin relays. All of these relays are only 4 pins, and most of these are 5-pin relays. So I'm hoping I can salvage a terminal out of this relay center, because you can't even buy this. It's part of the wiring harness assembly. So we're going to try and take this apart and try and salvage a wire. Yeah, that's what we're up to. Got to take the battery tray out first. So with the battery tray and the battery out of the way, you can flip the panel over and unclip the bottom cover, cut the tie wraps and the tape around the harness on both sides, and you can lift it up a little bit. Here is the wire in question in the corner that I need to depin right there. I'm going to see if I can get that one wire out of there and replace it. So I managed to drill out that terminal. I could not get it depinned. It was too corroded in there. So I drilled that one terminal out, and I put a terminal on the relay, and I'm just going to plug the relay in like so, and then wire it underneath. That should work. So there's the wire from underneath. So we're going to join this to the wire that's attached to the relay. The other 4 pins on the relay are okay. So that should work. Put it back together again. So there it is, back together again. Battery cleaned, battery connections cleaned, ground cleaned. I cleaned the ground on the battery tray as well because it's out and it was exposed. So let's see if the headlights work now. The key has to be on for the headlights to work. There's high beam, there's low beam. So before, the low beam headlights, which were the outside lights, would only work on daytime running light mode. Now that relay is working. So if you turn the headlights off, the daytime running lights work. Flash to pass works, and of course high beam indicator works. So that's it. Wasn't able to use that fuse panel at all because I found a terminal in another harness that fit.